I don't know what
You
that
already
was.
know what it is. Who knows?
I felt like it was like a DJ or something. Anyway, hello everyone. This is the Token and the Truth. I am Lady Dre Renee. This is Freddie B. We are so excited to be here with you on this lovely Tuesday. Freddie, you are buttoned up today, all the way to the top. Is that the
Yeah,
style?
yeah, yeah. I gotta button up. It's your man Freddie B right here, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you do that. It's free support that you can do, man. Support is free, guys. So you can go ahead and do that, and that will help us out a lot. And yeah, I'm button up today, man. Because we're gonna get into a subject that you hate and I love.
What
Because you hate
a
it.
subject
So
I hate and you love. We're already starting there.
amens, amens,
All right,
amens.
Freddie, whatever.
Yeah. So this is a topic. This is a topic I think that is great for people to cam up with. So if you're watching, guys, I'm gonna drop the link. Get the link. Holla at us. Love to hear you guys' perspective on this topic, and you wanna let them know what it is,
Yeah,
right?
I would love to get everyone's perspective on this topic. We've been hinting at this for a while that we were going to maybe do an episode just about this. And today we're jumping into it. Today, you guys, we're going to be talking about cheating and infidelity on your partner.
Exercising your options. You know.
Exercising your options. Is that how we're going to do the semantics of this? Is
Hey, I mean that's
that what we're
essentially
going
it's
to do?
essentially that's essentially more so what you would call it.
Why would that be more so what you would call it if you are in a committed relationship with someone, Freddie?
Okay, so let's look up the word cheating. Do you know what the
Yes,
word cheating means?
look it up. I actually looked it up before the podcast. Thank you very much. So yes, I
To
did look.
to
We're talking
cheat,
about cheating if you guys are just joining us.
right? To cheat means to act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, especially in a game or examination. Number two, avoid by luck or skill. So obviously, it would be number one. So somebody exercising the option, they're not cheating, they're not gaining an advantage on their partner.
Is this a joke right now? What definition of cheating do you have, Freddie?
I'm looking at the Oxford definition, like the Oxford
That's
dictionary.
not what I have. Cheating,
To
also
cheat,
known as infidelity, is when a
okay,
person.
if you're infidelity might be, but cheating is
Oh,
the root
okay.
word cheat. I read you the definition of what it means to cheat.
Yeah,
Cheat.
but Freddie, for all intents and purposes of this conversation today, we're talking about infidelity, stepping out on your person and thoughts
I mean,
about, okay, that's what we're talking about.
if you want
Infidelity.
to, but we know I'm a linguist. If you're gonna say a word, I'm not big. I'm not the person that we're gonna change definition. Like, oh, this word means this, but you know what? We're gonna make it mean that now.
Okay, well, when a person is in a monogamous romantic relationship and has an emotional or sexual relationship with someone else without their partner's consent, that is what we are talking about today. Now, we're talking about this, you guys, in the context of being married or even just being in a relationship. If this is okay, what is considered cheating? I think that's important to talk about as well.
And
Because
does it really even matter?
what do you mean it doesn't matter? There are certain things some people consider cheating that other people don't consider cheating.
Right, right. Which I get that, but what I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, sometimes does it even really matter if the person committed infidelity or exercised their options?
Oh my God. I really hope that we have somebody cam up today to just jump in here with me. How are you saying? We're just jumping right into it, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Um,
Yes,
how does it even matter? Is that what you're saying, Freddie?
correct.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. So we're talking about specifically when you are in a marriage and you're being taken care of, because that's been the topic we've been tiptoeing around, right? So you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, whatever you prefer, and they step out on you. Hey, it's 2023, you do your thing. And you're being taken care of, and I'm assuming this is the context with which we're speaking about, right? You're being taken care of, all your needs are met, you have your kids, you have everything, and your partner steps out on you behind your back. And you do not know, is this behavior okay? Now, again, we've been doing this podcast for a few months now, and Freddie has hinted around his thoughts on it. And I think it's absolute BS. Okay. Now, I think if
Okay,
you're,
break it down.
I will break it down to you. I don't think just because you are being provided
Look,
for.
Drea is she now this right here, you passionate, but everything else is live and let live, whatever works for
No,
you.
no, 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 no,
Now,
no. But this is why you
now.
have to listen, Freddie. This is why
I
you have
like
to
this.
listen.
I like this, Drea. I like this, Drea. Go ahead.
Because my biggest thing with this is the part of deception, Freddie, deceiving someone. And there are people who have agreements in these relationships that say, hey, don't ask, don't tell. Okay. Everybody can do whatever they want to do with their relationship. Okay. You know how I feel about that. Live and let live. But if you're going to be going into something like we were talking about last week with a friend of mine, going into a relationship, knowing that your partner thinks that their vagina or penis is only with you, and you decide to just go do your thing and not tell them because you take care of them, it's okay. Absolutely not. Now, I think you have to be realistic, especially depending on what age you get married. My thoughts about monogamy in a marriage have completely changed, right? So that's me. But I think if you make an agreement with your partner, you look them in the face and you say, yeah, I'm going to just be with you, then you should just do that. Now, if you want to do other things, or you're marrying somebody at a certain place or whatever, you may have to be okay with things, but you should have a conversation about it. I don't think you should be doing things behind people's backs. That should not be okay. That is what I think about that. Now, I know what you think, like, oh, you're getting all your needs met. What you going to do? You're not going to leave, blah, 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 all these things, whatever. I'm not even saying the person can't step out, but if you're stepping out in the dark and being like, oh, it's not a big deal, nobody's going to know, and that's just on your conscience, and you go home to your lady or to your man or whatever you're doing, because it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I think that is not okay. That is not okay. That would not be okay with me.
So
thank you very much.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I love how calm you are. Here's the thing.
I mean, because I'm all about composure and calmness. So the thing is when you talk about this, a lot of it is ego. A lot of it comes down to the ego. Because the thing
we're talking about ego.
And so here's the thing. We touched on it last week. The thing is the reason why ego is always attributed to men, because men, like which I said last week, men's ego can be quantified. Women's ego cannot be quantified. But the thing is women have large egos, men have large egos, people have large egos. It's just, as a person, you want to feel important. And it's all about your self-importance. If you look at the definition of ego, it's all about you feeling important. Everybody wants to feel important.
Okay.
The thing is that when we talk about this right here, a lot of women, what you'll hear and what you'll find is a feeding of the ego. They just want to know and they just want control, even though it has no bearing on what he's going to do, has no bearing on their relationship, has no bearing on his interaction with her. The woman, she just want to know. I just want to know. Why can't I know? And it's like, whether you know or you don't, it really does not make a difference.
It absolutely makes a difference.
No, here's the thing. Well, actually, you're right. You know what? Let me take that back. It will make a difference. And here's the thing. It'll make a difference in more so in the negative, which knowing, because then now you know, and now it's like, oh my God. And then now you all in your head when you interact with him intimately. Now you in your head, like if you giving him some head, now you thinking about well, where has his penis been? Has it been over here? Which we know germs and stuff don't work like that, but that's that and how that works. But then you start to compare yourself. Then here's the thing, because I know you well enough to know if you were married. I'm gonna say this about you. You ain't gotta speak on yourself. I'm gonna say this about you.
I would prefer that you just left me out of this thing. Thank you. Please.
No, because here's the thing. If you were married and your husband stepped out on you, and then you knew, and then if you decided I'm gonna stay with him, you would be then thinking about the other woman and his interaction with the other women.
No.
And how that lines up with what y'all doing, which most women would do. Because the thing is you decide you're gonna top him up now. Now you're like, well, hold on, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, woo woo, and then it just creates a bigger chasm to where you ain't topping him up. So you go back to the chick that you didn't want him to mess with.
Shut up, Freddie.
To get the thing polished. Because it's about getting the thing polished, and it is about getting the cheeks, and it's about the, I'm playing. I'm being extra. I'm being facetious.
He's being funny, guys. He's being funny.
But here's the thing. The thing is that a woman knowing that the guy did that, that's like it's really at the end of the day totally pointless because it won't help the situation. It won't help you. It'll be in your mind, playing in the back of your mind, messing with your feelings. You start feeling like I'm not enough, and am I enough, and I can't, and you start feeling self-conscious. Your self-esteem gets hurt, and it really has nothing to do with any of that.
Okay, Freddie. Okay, well then, tell me this. Then I've been in situations where
Yeah,
men are
shout
doing.
out to Corey. Corey,
Oh
faithful
yes,
popcorn
Corey
time.
and
And
Kyle's in the house
we
as
got
well, and Janelle
Janelle in the building. She
and
said
Kyle.
she said have a conversation about it. So, but go ahead,
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you,
Janelle.
Corey. Yes,
Whatever.
Janelle. Thank you, Janelle. And Corey, please
Ain't
get your
nobody gonna cam
popcorn.
up though. That's the thing. Like
We're
people
gonna
that
get somebody to cam up. We will. We will.
see. Here's the
Um,
thing. Here's the thing, Dre.
oh
Here's the
my
thing.
God.
I'm gonna let you finish real quick. That's how I know I be spitting facts because people who agree with me will cam up and back it. People who agree with you never cam up. But go
Shut
ahead.
up, Freddie. Anyway,
These are facts.
anyway,
These are facts.
anyway. Janelle, please, if you can cam up, that would be wonderful. We'll send you the link.
The link is already in there. She could just tap the link and we'll see her come in. But go ahead.
If you can tap the link, Janelle, because the thing is, you should have a conversation about it. Janelle says she'll cam up, so thank you, Janelle.
She ain't
Okay,
the link is there. She can click the link and cam up anytime she wants. But go ahead.
okay, Freddie. Anyway, so
I can do it too.
my point is yes, have a conversation about it. Okay, so tell me this. I've been in situations where men are saying that they cheat. This is what they do. Now you ask them if their wives cheat. Is that okay? Can their wives step out? And let me tell you how quickly this man is like, absolutely not. I don't think so. They better. Da, 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 da. But you're saying
Right.
we're the ones with the ego, but they're
Right.
supposed to be able to step out and do whatever
That has nothing to do with ego.
No.
That's nothing to do with ego.
Freddie, how does that not have anything to do with ego? What are you talking about? That's my woman. She better. Da, da, da. Excuse me. But you're allowed to go get some strange and do what you want to do and get your dome polished and all this and that. No. You and I will have an agreement. If that is a situation that works for them, whatever. I'm saying do whatever you want to do. I'm not even telling the men not to do it. Okay. I'm just saying if you're going to do it, I don't want to be deceived and thinking like, oh, I was just working late. I'm like, oh, he was just at the office. I don't think so. I need to know where you were.
No, so here's the thing. We'll get into the difference between men and women. We'll say that for a little bit later.
Can't wait.
We'll get into that. But here's the thing. What I will say, I am not advocating for men to do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that,
really?
As a man, when you're married, go exercise your options. Yay, go do that. Go actively seek that.
Okay, good.
Then you shouldn't be married. You shouldn't be married if you're actively seeking out your options. You shouldn't be married. What I'm saying is that if you're a man, you married, and it just some fall in your lap, and you weak, and you blah, and your wife, she's slacking, she on some dumb stuff, and you bang, all right, boom, and you treat it how it's supposed to be, and you have the finances, then I don't think that the level in which men are villainized for that is totally off. It's totally off. I think that's a non-starter. It's like, hey,
now
look.
Listen, Freddie, no. If you find out that your husband had a one-off, you've been married for 20 years, maybe this is where you and I could come back together, and you're going to throw away everything because of that, then I would say, all right, now we need to calm down. We need to think about some things. But he had a weak moment, and he's just supposed to be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. There's nothing to even, who cares why that happened? No, I disagree. Is that Janelle? Is Janelle here?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, this is her.
Hi.
She came on.
Janelle.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. How are you?
All right. So wait, but before we start, Janelle, introduce yourself to the people.
I'm all about the Titans.
So Janelle represent you from Nashville, Tennessee. So Janelle, you heard what we've been talking about. What's your thoughts?
I agree with Drea. I mean, my statement always is that if you're in some type of situationship at any point, just be very clear about your intentions. Hey, I met someone today. I want to kick it with them. Just be honest. I think that most of relationships and any other situations we get ourselves in, The downfall comes when we don't communicate properly. So all that sneaky,
Thank you.
let me slide, let me do this, like it's unnecessary because we're all adults. If you want to do something different, but you still care about the person, just let them know. And I don't know why anybody would argue about that.
I don't either,
Janelle.
Janelle, but apparently
All
here we
right.
are.
Okay. Okay,
Freddie,
Here we
don't
Drea.
are.
make me.
Enough out of you, Drea. Let me talk
I
to
know about you. I
Janelle.
know about your sneaky links. So let's not. Don't have me on. Don't have me on. You trying to
Janelle,
cam up.
Janelle,
I've been knowing him since he
Janelle.
was 15, 16. So let's not.
Here's the thing, Drea. You can't don't let her take you too far. Now, Janelle. Let me talk to you, Janelle. You cammed up. Me and you married, right?
Yeah.
Me and you married. And so
Oh
what you're
God.
saying is what you're saying, me and you married, and because thing is you're talking more so like the guy is plotting and planning on getting with a chick. He see a chick, he like, okay, I want to get with her, and he's married. So the thing is I would say that's too much. If you're married and you're a man, you shouldn't be seeing a woman like, okay, plotting and planning on this chick. Now the thing is we all have been in a situation. You've been around somebody, and somebody has access to you. They're attractive, they're funny, and they're like, and you kind of like, oh, they dope, or they nice, or they cute, or whatever. And like, in the back of your mind, you thinking like, if I was single, I would get with them.
Of
But
course.
you like, but I'm not, so I'm just trying to chill. But then that person has access to you, and then the thing, like we talked about last week, women need a reason to cheat. Men just need a time and a place. And so the thing is what I'm saying is, me and you are married, Janelle, right? Me and you, I'm gonna set the scene. Me and you married, and you're saying you would rather me come and tell you like, hey, I was at work. When I was working late the other day, my assistant was there. She came and some stuff happened. She taught me up. It was real quick. Or would you rather you at my funeral 40 years later and she there and you wondering why she there, and then she like, hey, look, something happened 40 years ago.
That's your.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
understand your analogy or whatever, your story. But let me say this. Ultimately, when you decide to marry someone, you should feel like that person is your ultimate best friend, right? I mean, ideally, we see all these images and these situations, but you should be able to talk to that person, and there should be a level of love, respect, and also appreciation between the two of you. So, I mean, I kind of question why you would come to me and say, oh, this happened at work and it was a sloppy topic. That wasn't the first incident. It's been kind of developing over time. Nobody's just going the first day. Well, I don't know.
Whoa.
Because
Hey,
I guess,
oh, hey,
I
Oh,
guess
hey,
you,
hey.
I don't know. It's 2023. I guess maybe everybody's, just doing stuff on the fly these
maybe
days.
they are,
Meet
Janelle.
somebody.
I wouldn't know.
But I
And
mean,
see,
for me, there has to be
here's
some
the
kind
thing.
of connection or something.
Here's the thing. I think that, you two are women, and I get it. I get where y'all coming from. I get where y'all coming from. Listen,
What is your statement? I still have not really. I don't
because
understand.
well, I'm gonna
What's
come
the
back,
cheating
but let
game?
me address what you just said. You talking about nobody does that on the fly. Here's the thing: men with power is intoxicating to women. So a woman can be around a man with power, and and we know women plot. Women can plot, and you have no clue. They just
Powerful,
set
Janelle.
you up, and then bang! Once they got their opportunity, they go in for the kill, and nobody might not ever seen it coming. So you have that one. Wait, two.
What?
What I'm saying is, Janelle, what you're saying is you would rather live your life being married to me, knowing that, having in the back of your mind that this chick or that chick, we did something, and it was that for me, that was just
I
like a
didn't
whatever
say that.
thing.
When did I say that?
No, listen, no, wait.
I
This
didn't
because
say that though. When did I
listen,
say that?
the question I asked you was the question. Here's the question I asked you. I asked you, if me and you were married, would you rather I did something and the next day come to you and say, yo, Janelle, look at the office, this, that, and the third happened? Or would you rather live years and never know and it just come out at my
At the
funeral?
funeral. Like that's
Okay,
better.
I basically I didn't like the scenario, but if I were to pick, I would pick the first one because I would want to know.
Thank
But
you,
you gotta,
Janelle.
And and that's what I'm
we should
saying.
be
What I'm
close
saying is
enough we should be close enough. If I'm married to you, if I say I do, I feel like, that's the ultimate sacrifice of love. Even if you make mistakes, I should still be able to love you and forgive you and move on. And that's not what we see on a day-to-day basis, but
No.
that's what the idea. I'm speaking about myself. I would rather
right.
work through that than you die and it's about 7 people at your casket falling all over and all
Exactly.
these kids that I never seen before looking like you, and then I feel some type of way then.
So, but here's the thing. What you're
He's like,
saying
I'm
is
dead, it doesn't matter.
you could handle subconsciously that another girl touched my Peter Weeder and have fun with it. You can handle that subconsciously and move on and be like, okay, look, boom, boom, this is what we're gonna do, move on, and then totally be done with it.
Is this the conversation? If I could handle somebody touching your Peter Wacker? Is that
that's what I mean. I'm being facetious, but you could handle knowing that.
Janelle, he's saying that we as women, we can't handle that. We're going to be constantly comparing ourselves. It's always going to be in the back of our mind, knowing that they stepped out. So it'd be better if we just didn't know, because we mentally cannot move forward.
I get it. But if you know that is a possible reaction to that, why do it?
Because we're all human. To err is to be human.
But how would you feel if another dude was touching my vagina and we were married?
Oh,
and so the thing is, we gonna get it. We gonna get into the difference. We're gonna get into the difference.
So here we go. We gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into the difference between the two. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The point I'm making. The overall point I'm making is that the demonization of a man messing with another chick when he's involved and married with another with one chick, and him having a side chick or messing with this chick, the level of demonization does not equate to what the situation is. Because women will leave, divorce, and have kids with a man the whole nine, and because he stepped out, I'm gone. I can't. No, you can have him then. I'm gone.
If somebody is cheating on you consistently, you're not supposed to stay. I mean, like, what are you talking about? You got to go.
No,
why not?
I think Freddie wants. I think he likes that consistent physical and emotional abuse of women and across the world to continue to let people just cheat on them. I don't understand it.
No, I think like I said before, I definitely think there's a nuance, there's a level to this. I think that you got some men that are quality in relationship, are quality husbands. They just had this weak moment and they had this fun or did this.
Doing it all the time are two different things.
Be honest about it, though. Be honest. Because it's an opportunity for the woman to grow as well. Because if you had a weak moment, there's always some kind of broken chain or a weak chain somewhere. So be honest about it and allow the relationship to grow and allow the woman, man, whoever to make the necessary adjustments
based on the truth.
Based on the truth and not just some rant, whatever you want to make up. Just communicate. How can you argue with that?
He will.
No, here's the thing. I'm not arguing the communication. I'm arguing the act and the consequences that the fallout of it. That what we normally see.
Freddie, but you're
arguing
speaking
the act as saying that it's okay for you. You're advocating for that.
Saying you shouldn't leave.
No, what I'm saying is it's not that big of a deal in which we make it.
Freddie, if somebody's cheating on you consistently and lying to you consistently, at some point you will probably leave.
He's just a cheater. That's what it is.
No, he's not.
Just say it, Freddie.
No, I'm not. All right, Janelle, appreciate it. Like I said, we gonna get into the difference between men and women. So if you want to hop back on later when we hop into that, feel free.
Keep watching, Janelle. Keep watching. Thank you. Oh my God.
So here's the thing. Me and Janelle, we go way back. So here's the thing. So like what she said, we was 15, 16. So you talking about
Sneaky Link.
We talking about 25 years. I don't know what she's talking about there. She being funny. I used to roast all the time as a kid. But the thing to what you said, cheating consistently, then like that's something like you just always just messing with somebody else. That's something totally different. That's pretty much like, oh, you want to be polygamous. That's going into another realm. What I'm talking about is a man is married and sometimes like oh he might have messed with this chick or did this way. But like I said, it's all a lot of this is based on income, the income level that man finds himself. Which, well, I don't know why you looking like that, Dre. I have no clue why you looked at me like that. You know what the hell I'm talking about, Dre. Like, come on, you live in LA. You just went to somebody's island. A man invited you to his island.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. First of all,
right?
Don't say it like that. That is not anything like that. That was not that kind of.
No, I'm saying you got friends. I'm talking about the people, the circle. Right, that's what I'm saying. The circle, you're around a circle of people who got bread.
That's what I said. That's what I said earlier.
And so what I'm saying is
things like, oh, I can do what I want to do.
So, but here's the thing, like, but when I said it, you gave me this look like,
because
what you mean money?
Saying because I'm talking about deception, Freddie. I'm talking about deception. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's
what's deception though.
What do you mean telling your wife you're doing something and you banging some other chick? And you're saying, yes, these men in these higher pay ranges, yes, they do that, and then it's okay.
No, okay. Two things here.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, dudes in higher pay ranges, like, because the thing is, some dudes don't have the money to be messing with another chick. You ain't got the money, because that time you messing with another chick, you could be trying to figure out how to make more money. That's the first thing. Second thing is when I talk about the pay grade, like when you are higher up, then some of those guys might have like, that's where a whole thing with having a mistress comes from, because, different things happening with that. That's a whole nother level. And I won't get too deep into that because I'm not at that level to me personally. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not at that level economically to really get into that. But I have been in that circle. I do know men in that realm and have heard stories, so on and so forth. So that's more so of what I'm speaking about. And the thing is that when you're up that level, this more so like the mistress is somebody like that's demonstratively different than your wife. Your wife is here, and then the mistress, when you meet the man's mistress, it's somebody like, oh, and you usually like, if we talking about older men who have amassed a lot of money, and the mistress is like a little young thing to where like, he don't talk to, he don't confide in or anything like that. This is a physical relationship, just to have fun, just to kind of he feel like he getting his youth back and that whole deal. And with this one particular chick, and it's this one chick, and he's vetted her physically primarily.
Having a mistress and cheating are different. If you're like, because we're talking about you said, oh, it just happened. Now we're talking about having a whole mistress, like a consistent thing. You got a relationship.
But that's what I'm talking about, economic levels. That's what I'm saying. Because it's all exercising options. But when you go higher economic levels, that's when like, oh, you can actually like outsource certain things and actually have somebody pretty much fill a job, essentially. But if you're not of those economic means, you're a man making 150K, then okay, you take care of your wife, you take care of the home, everything is good. And also the thing is that if you're a man and your wife is looking at you and she wouldn't know the difference, but you happen to have messed with this chick, that's something different. Let me explain. That's different than a man being married and there's obviously a gap. His wife is like, yo, you're not present. You're not supplying everything. You might be supplying everything tangibly, but you're not supplying things, the intangibles. You're not supplying those. And then that's cause of concern, because more than likely those intangibles is going to this other woman.
All I'm saying, Freddie, is at certain levels, yes, things can change and whatever. But I also know people in these situations where it's a don't ask, don't tell. Now, that is a completely different thing, because there are women who are living a certain lifestyle and they know that their husbands are out and about making money and they're in these crazy 1%ers. And a lot of these women know, but they don't need to know the detail. That is a different thing. So when their husbands are going out and doing stuff, they have an idea. They're not sitting there going, oh, he's just there reading the Bible with so-and-so. They know that, yeah, maybe these things are happening. That is, Freddie, that's not what I'm talking about, though. Listen, that's their arrangement. I heard a guy say, my wife says, as long as I'm home for church, I see the kids at this time, I'm home on this day. She's like, I don't care what you do. As long as they've been married for 25 years, right? And obviously, when you've been married for a long time, things change. The sex changes. How you view the person changes. Maybe you do want to go out and get
It
whatever.
evolves. It evolves, not changes.
It does change. It changes. Whatever.
It evolves. Drea.
Whatever, Freddie. Okay.
There's two different things now.
Anyway, my point is that if you are in your relationship and you want to be honest with your partner and keep things in a truthful way, that's how it should be. I don't think that you should have your wife or husband at home thinking that you're going out doing X and they're sitting there like, oh yeah, of course I trust them. Because that when you find out something like that, and I can't believe you think that it's totally okay for that you go to the funeral and you see some woman there that your husband maybe slept with, that's when she should find out. That is not okay, Freddie, because the sense of betrayal and a hurt that you experience thinking that you can trust somebody deeply, then you find out you can't, is not cool. Now, being honest, like Janelle said, communicating and being like, hey, look, this may be what I want to do. And then you have to deal with the consequences of whatever that is. That's what you have to deal with. And if the relationship does something else, at least you know you're not going out being a scumbag and lying to the person who you've committed your life to. End of the story.
And so I'm not advocating for lying either. What I'm saying is that the consequences like Freddie, just don't match. Because the thing is we're talking about a species, a gender who we wake up in the morning, our thing could be on brick. We can just wake up, it's on brick. Like I walk down the street sometimes and that just be like boom.
Freddie.
That's what we're talking about. Like arousal can just happen, and then I'm aroused.
You're acting like you have no control over being aroused.
I don't. I do not have control over my penis.
What do you do with it? Go home and polish your own dome, and then move on.
But no. Here's the thing. Wait. Okay. So there's that. Go home and polish my. Why would I choose to polish my own dome when there is a willing woman who is asking to do it?
Because we're saying this in the sense of maybe she's not doing what she's supposed to do, okay, or whatever you want her to do. We're talking about cheating, Freddie. So if you're saying men, they get aroused at times, then you're sort of speaking to the sense of like men don't have any control. Like I get it. People are sexual. Men are sexual. They're visual people. They want to have sex. I totally get that. I still don't think that deals anything with not communicating with your partner. And I also think on the other side, we're speaking of heterosexual relationships. I do think you have to own and honor what it means to be in a married partnership and know that sex is a part of it. I know so many people like sex is not important. You stop having sex, blah, 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 blah. It's not a big deal. I don't personally agree with that. I think it's something that you have to continue and you have to keep working at. I don't think that's an easy thing.
Keep figuring it out.
You have to keep figuring out. And I think you have to both make the effort to do that. And I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to do. And it's probably really easy to get into a space where you don't do that. But I just believe if you guys aren't doing it for a period of time, somebody else is going to be doing it with him 100%.
And that's the thing. And what you'll find is in like now, especially nowadays with like the whole, like with the Me Too movement kicked off like this women's empowerment, but the women's empowerment went way overboard. It went way past, like, for example, it's a book called 48 Laws of Power, one of my favorite books. I've read it twice. I've highlighted all the type of stuff. 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, power. Okay.
And it's written by Robert Greene. He's written 33 Strategies of War, The Art of Seduction, a bunch of books. He wrote a book with 50 Cent. That's really great. One of the 48 Laws of Power is basically, like I'm paraphrasing, but you shoot for your mark. You don't go past your mark. So whatever your mark is in beating somebody or winning, you win, you go to that mark, and then you stop. You don't go past the mark and then continue to go. And then, so in the book, it gives these laws of power, and it gives where people adhere to the law and where people transgress the law. And so the thing is, what he's talking about with that law is that so for example, the Me Too movement, when that was going on, it should have been a mark. Like, this is where we're trying to get to. We're trying to get here and accomplish this and change this. Once we get there, then you stop. But that didn't happen. They went past the mark and just kept going and kept running it and kept driving the ground. And so then what happens is, so like in the book, it talks about like ancient empires where people were fighting somebody and then they went past the mark and went too far. And then what happened was you leave those little small embers, under the debris. Those embers just stay, and then they eventually catch fire, and then they burn up everything.
Okay, Freddie, what is the correlation with the
The
cheating?
correlation is like, I don't think you be listening to me.
Freddie, I do listen to you, but you are long-winded. I love you, but you are so long-winded.
I'm long-winded.
Freddie, oh my God.
Lady Drea
In the
Renee
chat.
called me long-winded.
Oh my God, Freddie, you are the most
Hilarious.
long-winded person I've ever met in my life. I love you. I do.
You
But oh my God,
look,
I'm like,
go
what is
to the mirror, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and you'll find a person that beats me. Guaranteed. So look,
no.
here's the thing. The Me Too movement, it went too far. It went too far in demonizing, and then like now, like it went too far to where Lizzo was getting burnt up by that. Like that's what started the whole cancel movement. When we cancel people, stuff come out, they get canceled. It started from the Me Too movement. Lizzo is dying in it from something that started from the Me Too movement by women, and that's what I mean by it went too far.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I got it. But why are you saying the Me Too movement caused with the cheating? Like, what's the crossover here?
So the thing is now with the cheating, it's been numerous of guys who have done that, and then you got me using the word cheating. They've exercised their options, and then now they're out of here. They're out of here. They're canceled, and it's like, no, like that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, okay, he did that. Matter of fact, let's get into the difference between men and women.
Okay, let's get into it, guys. And if you're just joining us, as the Token and the Truth, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and do all the things, people. We really appreciate it.
And share, man. Share with a friend. Invite some friends, come over. And like I said, if you want to cam up, Janelle, she just cammed up and dropped some knowledge on us. You want to hop in and break it down, feel free. Let's get into the difference between men and women exercising their options.
Oh God, here we go. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
Buckle up. So I'm going to go back to, I don't know if it was last week or the week before last, where I gave the analogy to where if I posed the same question to men and women who were in the room and we had the two different answers. For the next month, if I said to a man, hey, for every week for the whole month, three times every week for the whole month, you gonna have a bad chick gonna show up to your crib and you get to have big fun and do whatever you want. Every dude was like, sign me up. Ask the same question to women. It's gonna be three different men every week come to your house for the whole month, and they the man of your dreams, and then it's going down. Every woman that was watching in the chat, everybody was like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that.
That doesn't mean we should not know if our husbands are being
No. I'm speaking to the difference between men and women cheating. I'm speaking to the difference. And that right there underscores the difference on why it's different between men and women cheating.
How is that the difference? Because we don't want to sleep with 3 men every week, and men do. Like that makes it okay for men to cheat because you guys have a bunch of different vaginas?
Because here's the thing. The question is, why don't all the women want to do that? And why will the men do it?
Well, there's a whole physical aspect of it, Freddie, that just probably isn't, going to be great. I'm
talking about the mindset. The mindset as to why a woman. Wait, listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about the actual reason in what's going on in all these women's mind as to why they won't, and what's going on in the men's mind as to why they will.
Janelle said Ron don't count either. I love Janelle. You're talking about the mental and emotional connection that goes along with women and sex. Is that what we're getting at? Freddie, that's the only reason you think that women don't want to do that?
Because here's the thing. When a woman, like we've already established earlier, difference between cheating. Like women need a reason, men just need a time and a place.
That's what you said, yes.
I showed you, a woman said that a man didn't say that. I sent you that comment. A woman said that. You disagree with that?
I saw that.
There you go. So you agree. So the thing is that when a woman steps out on her husband, that means something totally different. It is a way bigger deal than if a man steps out.
He's saying generally speaking, I suppose, because you know me.
yeah. Well, no, that's not true because I know this woman who's a stripper.
Yep.
Yes, generally speaking, because like I said, generally speaking, we just did the small sample size, but the women here, don't want 3 men a week for a month. It don't matter how
Why
fine
does
they are.
that mean that? But people still cheat, Freddie. I mean,
But what I'm saying is the connection to sex. I'm talking about the connection to sex. That's what I'm talking
sure.
about. Women have a different connection to sex
Yeah, I
than
don't
men
want
have the
three different
connection to
penises
sex.
every week. Absolutely not. No, I don't want that.
You don't want what?
No, I'm saying I don't. I agree. I don't want 3 different penises a week, but that doesn't mean that I won't. I like a woman's not going to cheat.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about you gotta listen. Because you talk about I'm long-winded, you would be just you gotta listen.
You are.
Women's connection to sex is different than men's connections to sex.
Okay, I agree with that. Great.
That underscores why stepping out and engaging in sex with somebody who's not your main person is different between men and women. That underscores that whole reason.
Okay, I'm following. Continue.
Right. And so women have a much more emotional connection to having sex than men have. Much more emotional because women are emotionally based. Men are logically based.
So therefore, men should be able to cheat and women shouldn't.
I didn't say that. I already said what I said. I said men and women have different connections to sex. That's why it's different. That's why if a woman commits infidelity, it's different than when a man commits it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say that to say that a man can do it and a woman can't. Because like how you say, people can do whatever they want.
Right. They can do whatever they want. But earlier you said about a man, he wants to go out there, he wants to feel young again, blah, 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 blah. Same thing can happen with a woman. She goes out there, sees a little young thing. I don't know, maybe the gardener looks hot that day. And she wants to feel alive again too. After seeing, the same penis for 20 years. Good for you, Ben Brown. I'm glad you agree with Freddie. I love that you want to highlight Ben Brown.
Hey, look, because the thing is that because we have to and the video I showed you, I definitely want to get into is another example of women. You got one woman in here fighting all your battles. That's wonderful for you.
Yeah,
but look, so here's the thing, what you'll find these conversations that women refuse to listen to men. Men can say whatever about anything and everything as it pertains to relationships. Women just no, you're a pig, you're this, you're that, and just name call men. It's like,
I agree with you that men and women see sex differently, and the connection to sex is different. I agree with you. We're on the same page on that. All I'm saying to you, for the intents and purposes of this podcast, I want to know if my man's cheating on me. Now, I like those women that are dating those men and the 1%ers and all those things, and they've made peace with what their partners are going to do. Cool. That's great. Like if that's the arrangement and that's the agreement that you have, that is fine. Now, I don't understand why it's not okay for your woman to go do the same thing. I'm like, okay, well, your woman wants to go be with the gardener. Why do you care? You have 20 girls that you're messing with.
Because
that's what the next part of this conversation is.
Because that goes back to what I just said, the connection to sex. Because as men, we understand women's connection to sex. Women don't understand men's connection to sex. I don't know why.
How do we not understand? How do we not understand? How?
I'm literally how do you cut me off to ask me a question that I'm answering?
Because you just said we don't understand.
Who does that? Who does that?
You said we don't understand. Okay.
Because of what I just said, men understand women's connection to sex. So as a man, I know that okay, I might have messed with this chick, but I know I could care less about that chick. I could honestly care less. She could disappear tomorrow. I'd be like, oh, okay. And I go on my life. I won't ever think about her again. Women aren't built like that. That's not how a woman is naturally built. For a woman to take on how a man thinks, she has to go through things to get to that point, which is unhealthy for her as a woman, because women are natural nurturers. Men are natural protectors. So as a nurturer, you have to be in tune to your emotions. And to get to that mindset that men have towards sex, you have to strip your emotions down and totally remove yourself from your natural being as a nurturer. So as a man, I know my wife, if she just having sex with a man, I know she's intertwining with him emotionally, spiritually, all these different things, and she's connecting with him on a deeper level. And it's like, no, that don't need to happen.
Thank you, Ben. There are women, because I mean, if you watch some of these podcasts out these days with these younger women, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And I know many 25-year-olds who are just out there, not that I'm condoning this, They're rolling their vaginas around and they could care.
You know, in previous episodes, you have condoned it, man.
No, no. I'm not saying that they should do that to anyone and everyone at any time. No, that's not what I'm saying.
You have said, like, why get married? Like, have fun and have sex.
Yes, if you want to have fun and do your thing. But I mean, you could do it in a classy way. You're going to be a big hoe about it. But if you are going to be a hoe, I'm just saying, do your thing. And there are women who do that.
That is.
Thank you. Now I agree with Ben. There are women out there who don't give a damn.
So no, here's the thing. I like, you know, like I get what Ben is saying. I get what Ben is saying.
Correct. He's correct. He's correct.
Okay, go ahead. What else you gonna say?
Ben is correct, Freddie. Women are not all looking for emotional connections.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something. You just gonna read what. Okay. All right. So I get what Ben is saying. I 100% get what he's saying. I think that he just went a little bit overboard. There are a bunch of women out here who are still women. The thing is, what you'll find is the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And so what we see online is all these women way left. But the thing is that, like, me personally, I try to provide counter programming to that foolishness and hopefully be a part of stuff that's counter programming to these women preaching and acting like they want to be like men and be and emulate that and take on what we are. But I get the programming that's out there, men more like women and women more like men. And so then you have the situation that you have, and then women like ain't no good men. It's like, I mean, yeah, because, you know, all the programming is feminizing the men, but then you want the men to be masculine. But then we come up with terms like toxic masculinity and apply that to masculinity. And so then when you hear the word masculinity, you've heard toxic masculinity so much. So then when you hear masculinity, that's what echoes in your mind is the toxic masculinity part. So you don't want to be masculine. It's like, I don't want to be toxic masculine. And so I don't want to be masculine. I have to be feminine. Because we don't hear toxic femininity.
I've actually heard that.
I mean, I think like here recently, like people try to throw it out there to counter the ideology of toxic masculinity, but I'm not even with the toxic femininity deal.
Those are more about the modern women. That's more of like a thing towards modern women. That's what that's about.
Now, modern woman, that's a thing. You got this new age woman to what Ben is speaking to. You know, you got these younger women who don't have anybody to look up to because all the women who got the knowledge, they married. They got their men. So they like, I don't even feel like dealing with this. I got my man at home. You hoes figured out.
No.
That's essentially what.
There are still women out there who do want to teach, but you're right, and I agree with Ben again. Women under 25 mostly. I mean, it's just it's a different breed out there, and so you know, if you have these women under 25, even maybe some over 25, and then you're meeting these men, let's just say you put these two groups together with the 1%ers of men, yeah, they're probably going to go ahead and get them a little bit of the 25-year-old. But what we're talking about, Freddie, is just being open and communicating with your partner. I still will keep this thread throughout the whole episode, which is I do think that you should communicate, and I don't think that you should be deceptive and lying and doing things. Now, I agree with you. Now, I will say I agree with you on the thing we talked about where it's like, oh, somebody cheats and you leave them. It's over. I agree with you on that, depending on the contents of your relationship, how long you've been together, do you have kids, all those things now, and how long you've been together, then there's other things to think about. So I agree with you on that. But I think that, you know, as far as just saying like, oh, women are emotionally led, men are, you know, can just go have a one-off, that it's okay if they do that. You know, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I mean, but so you don't agree with that women are emotionally led and men are logically led?
No. I said that being the reason that women can't and that men are not going to be okay with it. Because like, and then the like Janelle said, then the playing field gets equal. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't go sleep with another man because you're emotionally attached to him, but I can go sleep with whoever I'd like and step out on you because I'm just going to forget whoever this woman is. And you just need to be okay with it. Like
I think here's the thing. I think that's a little extreme. And I'm not speaking to those extremes to where like, hey, the man go to his wife, like, hey, you can't sleep with nobody. I'm gonna sleep with whoever the hell I want because I'm not gonna be emotionally attached to him. You are. It's not like that's going to an extreme, because the thing is that a man can be involved with a woman and get emotionally attached. That is possible. Right. That I'm
Especially the
not saying like
mistress
men.
that you're hanging out with every night. You're gonna get emotionally attached to her in some way. You might not
Right, I
leave your
mean,
wife, but you're gonna be
but
attached to her.
that's what I'm saying. Yes, but also what I'm saying is that there can be emotional attachments to the standpoint of where you think the grass is greener on the other side as well, and
Okay, now we're coming together.
not to the point of like, oh, this is just a mission. You're gonna just stay there. You with this woman. I mean, we seen that with the Peterson, the dude that had the wife with the kids, and he killed his wife and his kids, and his secretary or whatever. He tried to run off with her. You know what I mean? Like you have those instances. So, like I said, I am not advocating. Once again, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, share. Like I said, you want to pop in, you want to cam up. Don't be scared to cam up. Drea finally has somebody who supports us to cam up. I'm so happy for her. With that, I'm so happy.
You picked a better day, Janelle. Not a better
But
day.
but it was unfortunately it was Janelle, somebody who has a axe to grind with me at all times. So she loved it. But here's the thing. Let me say this. I am not and will never advocate for a man to be involved with a woman. It's like, oh, you're married. Go no. Like if you're married and as a man, you're plotting on a chick, you looking at a chick like, okay, I'm trying to get with her and this, that, and the third. No, 100 times no. I would tell you no. Like anybody I know that's married, like that I've known that's married, they be talking about another chick and they go too far with it. They go past like, oh, she cute. They go like, damn, she got look at that. They going too far. Then I quit to tell me, hey, bro, like you got to chill. Last I checked, you was still married, so just chill. Like you going down a road, it ain't no point. Cause thing is as any man, any high value man or a man of quality or a PT peer, as I like to call a primetime man, when you do things, you're looking at the pros and the cons. What do you have to gain and what do you have to lose? And you don't willingly go into situations where there's way more for you to lose and only a nut to gain. Like that's foolish and that's silly. And so I would never advocate for a man to do that. Because it's like, no, why would you? Like you do something that you have something to gain. So even with the situation of like, okay, you a man and you might be married, you get mixy with a chick. Hopefully it comes with some other benefit than just, oh, you got polished up. Hopefully it comes with some benefit that you're able to position yourself and she able to put you onto something and grow your business, and then boom. Hopefully that's an addition as a man with a plan and as a PT peer.
This is why I do advocate for the more non-traditional relationships that some people do have these days. And oh yeah, I know you're going to make this face. I know you're going to make this face, Freddie, but it doesn't make sense to me that you wouldn't be on board with this idea. Now, I'm not saying this is the type of relationship I want. I'm just saying within these realms of people stepping out, right, and being married and having a committed partner, why do you want to go behind your partner's back, right, and cheat and wouldn't it be amazing that the person that you decide to commit your life to, like Janelle said, that is ultimately going to be your best friend, you can go into the relationship knowing that it's going to evolve, Freddie, and do different things. And you know what, after you're with somebody for a long time, you may not want to sleep with them again. So let's have an honest conversation about what that looks like. Now, I get it, there's probably some people going, oh my God, I would never let my man, he would never and I then, okay, don't do it. But for those people that do want to step out, what if you have an honest conversation with your partner, and then you don't have to feel like a scumbag. You don't have to feel like you were being deceptive to somebody that you had, and you said to them, look, this is how I'm feeling. I love you, especially if you're a man, since you're saying all the men can go out there and, do whatever they want, right? They can just go sleep with somebody. Hey, babe, look, I know couples that give each other passes. I'm not saying I could do that, but there are people that do that. They're like, hey, babe, you got to pass for the night. Oh, you're going on your little trip with your friend. You got to pass for the night. Whatever the hell that means.
I mean, that makes more sense. Why would
that not be more of a situation you want to be in? And you got to be adult about it. We cannot control people. We don't own people. And people at the end of the day are going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So personally, would just rather know. I'd rather know who I'm married to.
And so here's the thing. I'm not saying that we control people. When you get married, you become one. Last I checked. And all the marriages I've been to, you become one.
That's great, Freddie, but we are all still human and walk around as individuals. and humans are humans. So yes, you are one.
No,
with
but
your partner.
I'm speaking to the point of the control part. That's what I'm speaking to. Like, yes, are we all individuals and gotta walk on path? Yes. But the thing is, the whole concept of getting married, you become a unit, you become one, you merge together. Now, going to the communication part is key, but
Of course.
is key. Thank you for that. Is key, but I'm more so speaking to those times where, like, okay, the dude like not even paying attention, and then like he ends up in a situation to where like, oh, this chick is like dropping in his lap, like, hey, what's up? And he wasn't taking something serious or whatever the case may be. Because the thing is you have those instances where yes, communication could have helped out a lot to where like the man and the woman, they're married, and it's things that he feel like she not supplying or she not doing, and he wants her to do, he wants her to think about, and he doesn't say something to her like, yes, you should definitely try. You should definitely try, like, hey, babe, look, we doing it. I want to try different positions, or I want to do da. Or look, you're not letting me hit enough. Like, you tired too much. Or like, hey, babe, like you ain't even swabbed your boy up in a month. Like, can you just,
you have to be able to take that feedback.
Can you swab your boy up? And why do I have to ask? Can you just on your own come and swab me up? Because this chick at work, she's trying to on her own. I ain't got to ask her. And so then that's where it comes into that situation. Because the thing with me is I communicate, but I'm not about to tell you over and over. I'm gonna tell you something very once, and you got to hear what you understood what I said? What? Yes.
Freddie.
And an attempt at a change should be made. If I say, hey, Drea, we married, me and you married, and I'm like, boom, like it's been 2 months, you ain't even tried to swab your boy up or nothing. I'm like, Drea, like,
is that the
I'm like, Drea, like, what? Am I can't drop it off on you in no more. What's going on?
Oh God.
Oh, look, you doing all that? I'm like, okay, never mind. That's fine.
Listen, in that situation, Freddie, let's say I was like that, right? Because this is where it's on both ends. Because I do feel sometimes, I will agree with you, that a guy goes and does something, because we're speaking in this sense, the man goes to cheat, and then everyone's like, oh, the poor lady, I feel so bad for her. He was deceiving her, whatever. Now that is true, but I do think as a woman, you have to look at your part and look at, did he communicate with me? Did he say, hey, babe, I want to try these new things? You have to look at your part on that. Oh my God, Janelle, please. And I think that that's important too, right? Because you can't feel like you have no part unless you are married to a sex addict, which is a whole other episode. But if you're not, and your partner did try to communicate with you, because I'm just saying, because there are men out there, you could tell your wife, she could be sleeping with you every single day and that mug will still cheat on you. That don't even matter. But my point is, if you did do that, and you were like, hey, I want to make this work with you, I'm trying to do it with you, and then your man steps out because you didn't step up, you do have to still own your part in how that whole situation was created. That's what I'm saying. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is majority of women will still be mad and still make it a whole thing, go to her friend like, girl, he said this, and would totally leave out the part where he was like, yo, swab your boy up on your own. I don't have to ask. Like, wake up, swab your boy up. I wake up hard. Like, you see it, boom, knock it out.
But this is what I'm saying, Freddie. So in those situations, right, I think it's on both people to kind of accept, because my thing is, I never want to be with somebody and take them away from something that they want to do, right? Let's say I get with a guy and he's like, hey, Drea, I need to fucking, I don't know, put something somewhere that they're not putting it, right? Like, I don't want to take that away from my partner if that's something that they need to do. I'm just saying. It's like
but okay, wait.
No,
okay,
let me finish, Freddie. Let me finish. My point is, if it's something that you need to do, I want to be adult enough to discuss the situation in a way where maybe you can go do that over there. I'm not saying this would exactly happen this way, but I want my partner to do whatever they need to do. I don't want to take something away from them, especially sexually. I don't want to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Got you. So here's the thing, like, how do people get married and they be with somebody and then years in, this one person come with some way left request?
It happens,
some
Freddie.
Sexual. No, I'm not saying it. I get that it happens. What I'm saying is, how does it happen? And not, I'm not asking the question like literally how does it happen? I'm saying like, how does that happen from the standpoint of that just shows we live in a world now that people aren't intentional about getting married. People meet people and that's not their intention. They just get with somebody and they just kind of just go along to get along. And then like, well, we might as well get married because we've been together for this long. And then you get married, but there's no vetting process. They don't vet the person. It ain't none of that no more. They just go along to get along. And then, well, we might as well get married. And that's how you end up like that. If you get with somebody and you are intentional, then you will have vetted them. And so you kind of know where that person is on the sexual spectrum. So you know, like, okay, so like matter of fact, I'm sure you guys watch Price is Right.
Yeah.
You watch Price is Right, right? You know that game where you got to set the little thing on the line and then the product is here and then the price got to end up in the little area. Yeah. So the thing is when you vet them, you know where their sexual spectrum is. So you know, like, okay, I vetted you, so it's right here. So you know anything they come up with gonna be somewhere. They might be way less vanilla than what you thought, but it's still gonna land in that area. They might be way more spicy and they might be pressing against the edge, but it fall in that area. If people getting married, they even said it. They thinking it's here. The person come, it's way over here. It's like, I want to bring some dogs into the bedroom. You like, what? Dog? What? And it's like, how do you marry somebody and you had no clue? You did not know that they had the proclivities of bringing animals into the bedroom.
We want to bring some dogs. But this is what I'm saying, Freddie. You know why? Especially around the conversation around sex and then people getting married. Some people go into marriage being like, look, this is a great person. This is a great woman, great man, whatever. But these sexual interests that I have, I'm going to put them over there. I'll deal with it later. Then you end up discovering some stuff about your partner. Where you're like, I didn't know you like to do that. Now, this is why I always preach for open communication. Like, let me know what is going on. What am I getting myself into? I want to know all of it, every single thing. That way you can make a decision based on that truth and not find out 10 years later that your husband wants to have sex with a goat or something. And you're like, what? You know what I mean? And so I'm saying, like, if that's what you want to do, like, let me know so I can be like, hey, I'm not the girl for you. I know a girl, she was the guy for 5 years. And then it turns out he had a thing with balloons. Like, he had to hear a balloon pop for him to have like a certain type of orgasm. And, you know, she said, all right, like this totally works for me. Like, I'll deal with it. I don't really know how he got there, but people have some really weird out there things. And so, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to go through all that with your partner, I think that's fine. But the thing is, as long as you communicate and you know who you're with, marriage is a huge commitment. And as someone just said, I think Chris said, most people don't fully understand what goes into that. You have to be willing to forgive. You have to be willing to understand. No, I know, but I'm just saying he wrote it just now. Christopher wrote it. Thank you, Christopher.
So here's the thing: to what you just said about the dude having the balloon pop. Like, that's something that's strange because that's not something you hear. But that's vanilla. It's still vanilla. You know what I mean? That's not anything like, oh, I gotta have another man skeet on my back and then I can come. Now that's way more spicy. A balloon pop is a balloon. Like, all right, pop some balloons. You know, like, I lay on balloons while we do it. I lay on bubble wrap. But we bring some bubble wrap into the bedroom, and then I just pop bubble wrap. You get all the pops you want. Like, that's something that's an easy fix. You know what I mean? And so when you're with somebody may come with it. Just, and the thing is it's weird. It's just something that you may not get or you may not do, but you got other things that. You got other things that
a G-rated example.
Right. And so that's more so what I'm saying. Like, when you vet your partner, you know they G, PG, PG-13, R, X, or triple X. You should know that. But the thing is, people don't vet people and they just get along. They just go along to get along, get married, and they thought their partner was PG-13. Turns out this motherfucker's triple X. And it's like he dropped some stuff on you like, yo, like, you know, I wanna have a gangbang. And it's like, a gangbang, like as in multiple men come knock me off. Yeah. I like to. I want to see these two dudes, not me in it. I want to see two dudes knock you off, and I want to watch, and I want to jack off in the corner.
That's a very common thing, and that's a very common thing.
But
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's some triple X stuff. But your man coming to you and saying that, you should have some type of idea that he's in that realm of wanting that. Shouldn't be a surprise for him to ask that.
You
But
should hope so.
But I actually highlighted Ben, what he said. Men are, he's being funny saying men are booty hunters. He literally has to learn how to turn off the hunter instinct in relationships. So the reason why I brought that up and highlighted this because that's very true. Like men are, our masculine nature is to conquest and to hunt. Like that's how it was back in the caveman days, how it was set up. Women didn't go out and hunt. They stayed home with the kids in the cave and picked berries and leaves and did that. And the men went out to kill the mastodon and the big tiger and lions and kill all them. What you mean, sure? Like,
I understand that, but people use these examples and I understand the male instinct. I believe that it's real, but like things are evolving and nobody's like going out to the fields anymore.
I'm not saying that that's what we do. I'm speaking to what our natural thing is nowadays people just say F what natural selection is, like natural biology. F it. Who cares? We can do whatever we want. Like, who cares how biology works? Like, that's a thing. Like, men naturally want to do things. Women naturally want to do things. And it's totally foolish to set things up and to prevent women from being women. It's totally foolish to set things up and to prevent men from being men. You just have to, it's like in sports. They say you can't stop Jordan. You only hope to contain him. There's the thing. The thing is you just contain men and women within the society we live. We live in a first world country. We have different things available to us. So it's like, okay, you just contain us within that, but you don't stop natural nature of who we are, because this whole infrastructure could fall at any time, and we've seen it fall in short amounts.
I know, and that's the example you use. And then what's going to happen? What are the men going to do? What are the women going to do? And I understand that. That makes sense. You went to the third world countries. Women got to do this. You need the man. All the things.
Right.
Listen, yes, you're totally right. I absolutely agree.
So that's what I mean by this. Like, men are natural hunters. We naturally want to go out and conquest and take over things.
And you go ahead and take over. You just need to let me know what you're taking over. Okay? Take it over. I don't care. I just, Drea Renee needs to know. Now, I want to share this little thought real quick. I heard the story that sometimes, I don't know if this is exactly true. A friend of mine told me about this. Some older women in China, when they're married to their husbands for a long time, will go out and get women for their husbands. They're like, hey, listen, I ain't doing it no more. You knock yourself out. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing it. And some people scoffed at that. They're like, oh, they think that's crazy. Like, how could you do that? And look, if you have the luxury and you get to be married to somebody for 50 years or whatever the case may be, nobody knows what those people have gone through. Relationships do all kinds of things. And to be married to somebody for that long, I'm like, hey, listen, if that's what works for you, everybody knows what's going on. Nobody feels like they're being lied to. Everybody's out in the open and it works for both of you. Knock yourselves out. Go get your man a woman. I don't care. But I just think that makes more sense to me than doing something behind someone's back or saying, oh, Drea, you can't know because you can't handle it. I still have to be an adult about myself and what I am able and not able to handle. There are men out there who don't do that, and then you don't got to worry about it. Not every man's out there trying to get somebody else, but I am open and understanding of the idea that relationships change, and you may not only be with your partner, whoever that you marry to. That's more common these days. So the roles and things are changing. I'm not saying all of it makes sense, because there are some boundaries that are being crossed too much, but it's like whatever you and your partner decide to do and it works for you, you go ahead, you do it. And that's what I'm saying. Japan too. Yeah. Oh, not just China. Okay. Well, there you go.
Right. And you have a fan, Vino.
Hi, Vino.
You say he'll have kids with you, Drea. So
great. Thank you, Vino. I appreciate it.
But I mean, to polish this off, when it comes to cheating, there is a
new meaning to me now, by the way.
There is definitely a difference between men and women cheating, men and women committing infidelity or exercising their options. There is a difference between the two doing so. Two, I don't advocate for a man to exercise options, especially while he's married. I do not advocate that. Because you got to weigh the pros and cons of it. And more than likely, the pros will not outweigh the cons. Three, I think is definitely a thing. I think the main thing with it, I think we've touched on it before, is the embarrassment. Like nobody wants to be embarrassed, and neither. And like I said, we all have ego. And the thing is that most men, especially you don't have the means. Like if you're stepping out, like it's going to come up some way to embarrass your woman, and that's not what you want to do. In when you're a man and you're married, your wife should like what I've talked about before with LeBron and Savannah. Savannah is like, she's respected, she looks good, she glowing. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Like your wife is supposed to be amazing. She's supposed to be respected, like as a woman, and be able to rest in her femininity and be just like a queen, like be able to sit back, sit in the chair, and just sit there, and people just respect her because who she is. That's it. She don't have to do anything to earn respect. She's respected by just off who she is. She's the queen of the house, and so then she's respected. That's hard to do if you're a man and you're stepping out and you're dealing with other chicks and other people know and she don't know, because now she looks stupid because it's like everybody know, other people know, and this, that, and third, and then she come over your house and she made a scene and all type of stuff. Now she looks stupid and she looks foolish and she doesn't look like the queen that she needs to. And then that at the end of the day falls in your lap as a man, and how you're looked at and how you're perceived. And so I don't advocate that. What I am saying is that there are lots of times where men are with women, they're great guys, they're great husbands, take care of the home. She has what she needs emotionally, financially, spiritually, so on and so forth. But he might have messed with this chick. It's very intermittent of him messing with different chicks. And then she find out or whatever the case may be. And then now she like, I'm getting a divorce, break up the whole family. It's like, why are we breaking up families for something so inconsequential? That's not a reason to break up a family.
I agree.
A reason to break up the family is he's irresponsible financially. Like blowing up credit and losing money. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? We about to be on the street.
Freddie, are you saying you were committing infidelity one time? That's not a reason to end the relationship? Or on the regular? What are you saying?
Like the thing is, I'm saying more so, like you're on a regular, just doing it. That's a problem. Obviously. Okay. If it's intermittent, that's something different. One time intermittent, that's different.
One time intermittent, as in, because I intermittent fast. I do that every day. So like, what are you talking about?
Intermittent is not fast every day. That's regular. If you do it every day, that's regular.
No, intermittent fasting. I do it every day. Like I have my day.
No. Yeah, we're not intermittent fasting, because fasting means you don't eat. Intermittent fasting means you eat and it's not regular.
Right, but I'm saying
but it's regular as opposed to the day. But it's like for example, intermittent wipers. Like they don't consistently. It's not consistent. Intermittent is not consistent.
Okay, what is enough to not get a divorce, Freddie, on cheating? Once a month, once a year?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't be a regular occurrence. And like I said, as a man, you're married, you should not be like, oh, I'm trying to sleep with this chick. You see a chick, you're actively trying to sleep with different chicks. You're going out and that's what you're doing. Like, if that's your mindset, it's really more so of a mindset, really. Because it's the same thing with, like, you ask people, like, are they getting to heaven? And it's like, oh, like God, if people say God knows my heart, that's the real thing. It's like, do you have a heart to go to heaven? That's what we know. I don't know what's in your heart. I don't know what you truly believe and what you think is correct in your heart and what you're going after. So the thing is same thing with a man. If in your heart and in your mind and how you move and you're led by like, I'm trying to bust these hoes down, and you're married, you might be out of bounds. But if you're married and you're like, oh, I'm worried about my wife, but then somebody happened to come along and it's like, oh wow, oh dang, like
okay. I don't think
like that shouldn't be on your mind that I'm trying to knock these hoes down. On your mind should be your wife. If your wife is the first thing you think of when you do anything,
I just feel like, and we're gonna wrap this up, guys. I just feel like you're saying essentially like, if it just happened, she just fell on your penis. Oh no, yeah, I had no control. But I think what Chris is saying. It's like there always is some stuff going on before. Okay, there's always some things going on before. There's always a few cracks. You go out and you have a couple of drinks with your friend. You see a little girl, she's winking at you. She's a little young thing, whatever. But there's some cracks. There's some cracks. Maybe she's making you feel like you're 21.
I agree.
Whatever. Yeah. So if you're thinking about your wife, Take your ass home. Thank you. And we're gonna end it on
Those cracks. And so the thing is, you know, like we talk about communication, and that's a good thing to do. But the fact of the matter is, everybody doesn't communicate as soon as they should all the time.
100%.
It's not realistic.
You're absolutely right.
It's not realistic.
Right. Well, that's
and
why
so
you go to therapy. That's why you go to therapy.
Hey, I am a proponent of therapy throughout your marriage. I say it all the time.
Yes.
Couples therapy, marital counseling is really what it's called. You go to marital counseling, and that is a regular thing that you should be doing, because that is called a tune-up. That's called an oil change on your relationship. Just like when you go to work at a company, like I say all the time, marriage is a business. At a company, they do
reviews. Monthly
right.
reviews. Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for. Right. They do monthly, quarterly reviews on the employees, and like, okay, this is what you need to change, this, that, and the third. They do that at a company. That's why I say marriage is a business. Marriage should operate just in that same facet, but not only in that facet. When I say that, people seem to think I mean only in that facet. Like, no, of course you have all different loves.
Of love and romance, and then people.
Right, exactly. I'm not loving on the people at work.
That's
there you go.
Oh my God. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It has been a
shout out Chris,
episode.
Ben,
yeah,
Janelle, Vino. Good looking, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share. We're on YouTube as well. Talking to the Truth YouTube. Make sure I go to the YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube. Tap in there. Tap into our IG as well. You know, because eventually we want to consolidate this stuff down to our IG and our YouTube. And take it off our personal pages. So
yes, we'll see you guys next week, same time, with more juicy stuff. Bye.
Y'all already know. Peace.